Monday Night Football. The New York Jets are on the road to take on the San Francisco 49ers. My best bets are on the way today. I got my favorite player prop. Then I have who I think wins and covers in this game. And then I have a parlay to wrap up the video. If you are new, my name is Austin from Calling Our Shot. Do me a favor, go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to let me know your favorite pick for this game, comment it down below. I'm curious what you guys are rolling with. But before we do that, we need to recap how we did on Sunday. Now, I'm not one to dodge results. I've always been transparent. I'll always maintain that because it was a 2-5 day. I'm a little frustrated though. The day 2 ladder and the Rams, Lions, SGP, day 1, whatever you want to call it. Those are just bad, whatever. Evan Ingram and Amon-Ra, whatever. JSN's over in receiving yards, a little bit annoying. He did not come through. He had 19 yards on his first drive, nothing after that. The two losers that are a little annoying, Jaleel McLaughlin, I really liked his over in receptions. I liked about the 5 receptions, which was plus 1,100. He had 5 receptions. How many yards did he have? 0. I don't know how he did that. And Brian Thomas gets an 18-yard catch. He cashes all his other props. Just annoying. It feels like Brian Thomas and Jaleel probably should go our way, but did not. Herbert and Dak Prescott are only 2 unders on the card, both hit. So maybe more unders are coming your guys' way, but I'm not too worried about that. The only silver lining was our money line parlay at plus 701 did cash. It was pretty good. 5 legs. I don't remember all the legs off the top of my head, but they all cashed. I really think a lot of favorites won in week 1, except for the Bengals. If you bet on the Bengals in your money line parlay, probably hate that team. But let's dive into the picks today. I did want to put up a reminder. I know it hasn't been the greatest start to the year, but I said at the beginning of the year, if we didn't have a positive year, I get a tattoo of an L on my butt, and I don't have any tattoos, and I definitely don't want that to be my first one. And even for a positive season, I'm still doing some forfeits. So I'm confident the season turns around. I'm not too worried about some things not going our way in week 1. It is just week 1. There's not a lot of data to go off of. Really feels like we've had some picks right there on the doorstep. They just haven't come through, but they'll come through as the season goes on. And I'm confident that starts with a Monday night winner. Before I dive into that, Underdog Fantasy is a pretty good winner out there for y'all. It's Aaron Rodgers to get 1 yard. Now, technically, this did not cash in week 1 last year, but they're going to honor it if something happens to Rodgers, which as a Jets fan, something happens to Rodgers before he gets 1 yard. I don't know what I'm going to do, but don't worry about that. If you use our code COS, you'll get that free score and you'll get a match on your first deposit up to $1,000. So a lot of free money. I'll have an Underdog parlay at the end of this video. A couple other props that I really like for Monday night. But let's dive into our picks today. Like I said, subscribe, like, comment your best bet. Let's dive in. My favorite play of the day, Garrett Wilson. I like his over 5.5 receptions, minus 140 on Bet365. I'm not one to lay a lot of juice, let's be honest, but at minus 140, I'll do it. I'll take it up to minus 150. I really don't think this line should be 5.5. I really think it should be 6.5, maybe plus 100. But I think at 5.5, I have to take a stab at Garrett Wilson, who is by far the Jets' #1 wide receiver, and I feel like he's number 2 as well. I mean, maybe Breece Hall, you want to call him that. I mean, you think about the other wide receivers for the Jets. We have Mike Williams, who's coming off a torn ACL. How many snaps is he going to play? I don't know. Alan Lazard, sure, he has a connection with Rodgers, but he's never been a big receptions guy. He's more of a deep threat. And then Malachi Corley, their rookie, well, I don't expect a big season from him. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to obviously lean heavily on Garrett Wilson, and I don't blame him. Last season in 2023, Wilson, 6 receptions hitting this over and only 8 of 17 games, so a little under 50%. But he did have 7 or more targets in 14 of 17. Obviously, the target monster for the Jets, 30.1 target share, which is the 7th highest in the league, but he was 65th in catchable target rate. I don't need to tell you the Jets QB position, the carousel it was last season, was a disaster. But this year with Aaron Rodgers at the helm, knock on wood, he plays more than 4 plays. We should see the targets to him stay healthy and also the targets be actually catchable. I mean, he had a lot of passes. I was like, hey, what do you want from the man? But this year with Rodgers, we know how talented he is at putting the ball in the right place. And I'm confident, obviously they've done the preseason and offseason twice now. I'm confident Garrett Wilson will be the guy that Rodgers looks at for the red zone, looks at for third downs and short down completions. If maybe it's a run pass option, you see them loading the box and maybe they're sagging off on Garrett Wilson, throw it out to him, get those easy receptions. Maybe he can make a guy miss and gain some more yards, and a Breece Hall halfback dive would gain you. So, I mean, Garrett Wilson, like I said, by far the Jets' best wide receiver, and I don't think the Jets want the 49ers defensive line to be teeing off on him. But they can't afford Rodgers to get hurt again, and while their offensive line is much more revamped, I expect the Jets to be able to sustain some drives, something they couldn't do last season. In 2023, the 49ers also gave a ton of pass completions and attempts. They allowed the 3rd most pass attempts and completions in the NFL. We know a lot of teams were like, I don't really want to run on you guys. We're going to pass it. And I anticipate Garrett Wilson to have one of the better matchups out there. I just don't see the tight end like Tyler Conklin having a big day with Fred Warner on him. They're also going to maintain a pretty good eye on Breece Hall out of the backfield. And then I just don't trust the other pass catchers for the Jets. So Garrett Wilson should get plenty of targets his way. And I just don't think this line should stick at 5.5. Sure, it's minus 140, a little juice. I don't lay a lot of juice, but I'll take a chance here on Garrett Wilson to get a 6 receptions. I really think he can get that. Hopefully it's not deja vu of our A.J. Brown prop where he soared over in yards, 10 targets, but only got his 5 receptions. I think the targets will be just like that, maybe 10 going to Garrett Wilson. So hope he can haul in 6 of them. So I really like Garrett Wilson's over in receptions, my favorite player prop in best bet for this game. Now, of course, we need to talk about I think wins and covers this game. Now, I'll put a warning out there. I won't be betting either of these, but this is what I lean. I lean the Jets plus the 4.5. I like them to cover, but I also need the 49ers to win this game. I like the 49ers to win this by 1 to 13 points. If I'm to bet either of these, I actually kind of like the 49ers by 1 to 13 a little bit better. That's plus 120. You obviously have a big wiggle room. Obviously, if the Jets win, you're screwed. But the 49ers, I don't see them blowing out my Jets. Hopefully they don't. That would be absolutely in shambles. But I think the Jets can keep this game close. I think it's a 3 to 4 point type game, which I like the Jets to cover. But I'm not going to bet it. I don't want to bet my own team and absolutely jinx them. When they lose by 20, then I'll be in emotional and financial pain. So I won't bet this one, but I do kind of like the 49ers to win by 1 to 13. I think the Jets gave it close, but I don't see them winning in week 1. You feel me? Hopefully you do. If you want, let me know what you guys are betting for this game. Like I said, I think the Jets cover, but I think the 49ers win. So 1 to 13 at plus 120. Not bad odds. It's under win margin on FanDuel. So you go to like win margin. They have both the Jets and 49ers by 1 to 13, both the Jets and 49ers by 14 or more. So it's a market that we have targeted before. If you think it's going to be a close game, but one team wins, that would be it. I like the 49ers by 1 to 13 points. Let's dive in though to our Underdog Fantasy Parlay. A reminder, if you use code COS, they'll match your first deposit up to $1,000. 1,000, pretty good money. And they'll also give you this Aaron Rodgers free square for him to get 1 yard. And sure, if he gets injured, they'll still green it out for you. So don't worry. You won't be like, oh, if he doesn't, they'll give you it regardless. If they don't care, they'll give him 1 yard. They don't care. But who's getting 1 yard today? Here's what I'm rolling with. I obviously have Garrett Wilson higher than 5.5 receptions in here. But I do have 2 other props that I did look hard at. One is Christian McCaffrey higher than 109.5 rushing plus receiving yards. We know CMC, he's a dual threat and one of the best there is out there. I don't know how many rushing yards he gets in the Jets. The Jets are a very tough defensive line, but they also have very tough secondary. And I don't see a huge success coming to guys like Brandon Ayuk, who just returned back to the team a few weeks ago. Deebo Samuel should have a decent day. I don't mind maybe Deebo props, but Kittle, I just think CMC is going to be the guy they force feed, and we've seen Brock Purdy throw it to him plenty of times out of the backfield. He should get his yards as well. I like CMC higher than 109.5 rushing plus receiving yards. And then finally, I like Tyler Conklin lower than 14.5 longest reception yards. They obviously have Fred Warner. He's one of the best coverage linebackers in football. I think he limits Tyler Conklin a little bit. I like Conklin season long. Just don't think this is a great matchup for him. So $25 turns into over $130, $140. Not too shabby. And that's something I meant to mention at the beginning of the video is I think it's cool to bring up some stats. And these are some stats from how week 1 passing quarterbacks did. I'm going to put them up on the screen from a guy on Twitter, Marcus_Mosher. Show him some love. But you look at the passing yard totals, not a lot. Now, I do want to note Jared Goff with 217, which would maybe 6th highest, and Matthew Stafford at 317 aren't on this list. This was pre-Sunday night football. But look at the passing yardage totals. I mean, very low numbers across the board. Hopefully this isn't a theme all season long. I mean, Caleb Williams, what are we doing down there? But, I mean, I think things will change. It was week 1. Normally unders print in week 1. I'm confident these things start to change, and hopefully they do on Monday Night Football. So we'll see. But just an interesting stat I saw pop up on my Twitter feed. Want to bring it to your guys' attention. Some interesting numbers here. We'll see if we can use these to our advantage in week 2. We'll see. But that starts after today. We need a 1-0 night with Garrett Wilson to get 6 receptions. I'll move into Thursday Night Football. But you guys have a wonderful day. My name's Austin. I'm signing out. Let's go Garrett Wilson. Let's go Jets. Hopefully they win. But we'll see you guys back again in the next one. Good luck on your bets tonight. And I'll see you guys back on Thursday with some more picks. And I will see you in our MLB video, which we're coming off a 3-0 day. I'll see you in that video, which I'll link on the screen once it is live. Have a great Monday. I'll see you guys back again in the next one. Peace.